Hey guys, are you having fun yet this January? I mean, it's dark, it's rainy, no snow, no bikes, no skiing. What else to do than to start looking at the pile of things waiting for me this winter? And God knows that I have at least a few things to keep me busy for the next little while. And close to the top of the pile, I have two boxes that say this, 5dev. Today is kind of a brown day. Let's pick the brown box, see what this is about. And if you guessed that the brown box was for cranks, kudos to you. Now these are rather unique, and in this video I'm going to take a look not only at the specs but the build, the compatibility with other existing components, weight, and everything else that you might want to know. I read somewhere that these cranks were sexy and exotic, and that's definitely true just by looking at their design. And even though we haven't heard about 5dev before, this is a division of Fifth Axis, a company that have been doing CNC machining since 2004 for a lot of aerospace and medical industry. But the idea of an engineering company doing mountain biking components is not new. I'm gonna bring in front of you 9.8, my fellow Canadians, because that's who they are. A whole bunch of engineers that love mountain biking, and they started 9.8 to design some cool products. By the way, this is Slacker from 9.8. I had a video about it last winter, and if you look in the description, the discount code for this might still work. Back to our cranks, the precision, the quality, the finish is absolutely stunning. These are their trail Enduro cranks, for which they have a custom version as well, but they also make a few specific e-bikes models. These are CNC'd from a large piece of aluminum, so they are offering us a lot of options, length options for these cranks. Mine are 165, they go all the way up to 175 millimeters long. However, on this end, even though on the box it shows 155, on their website you're gonna see all the way down to 135. The finish of my cranks is black, but they also have one in raw color that looks really nice. These are designed and manufactured in California, and if you flip over to the other end of the box, you're gonna see the part number. These cranks are built very similar to the Raceface Next or Next SL. You have the crank arms and you have a separate spindle. Spindle length is available for boost and super boost, and interestingly, when it comes to the diameter of the spindle, you see here two options. One is 29, one is 30 millimeters. Usually high-end cranks like the Raceface use a 30 millimeter spindle and the associated bottom bracket. As for 29, that stands for the 2899 of dub. So if you have a crankset that already uses a dub bottom bracket, you can replace it easily with one of these fancy and sexy 5dev cranks. Now, it might sound like a lot of options, but usually vendors simplify the ordering process, and shout out to bikecomponents.ca for providing me this crankset to take a look at. These cranks are machined to the exact length they have to be, and you see the length again here on the back. Also, you see that these are made out of 7075 aluminum, probably part number, and made proudly in the USA. At this end, you're gonna see a preload adjuster that definitely feels premium when compared to what SRAM uses, even though the concept is exactly the same. Spindle shape is very similar to the one of SRAM. The only big difference here being obviously the fact that you're gonna have to attach the spindle on both ends using an 8 millimeter hex key as specified right here on the cap. You also see 40 Newton meters as the torque necessary. That is identical to what SRAM dub requires, both in terms of tool and torque. And if you want to know how to install or remove cranks like this, I have a video. I'm going to make sure to link it up in the corner. And another thing that's identical between SRAM dub cranks and 5dev is the way they attach their chainring. SRAM cranks usually come with the chainring, 5dev doesn't. However, in the box you have the 3 bolts needed to attach your chainring. You also have a couple of pedal washers, by the way, and you can install a 5dev chainring. Yes, they make chainrings as well. You see the 3 millimeter offset for boost, but because it's the same interface, that also means that you can install SRAM chainrings on the same crankset. And if it happens that you have a 6 millimeter offset chainring like this one is, you can make these available for non-boost bikes, believe it or not. As you would probably expect by now, the machining of the 5-dev chainrings is top-notch. You see this is a 32 round. They also have ovals similar to what Absolute Black have been doing for a long while. Also, if you look at the tooth profile, the Absolute Black is specific to Shimano 12 speed, this model anyway. Their tooth profile is universal, meaning that they can be used with Shimano 12 speed or SRAM 12 speed. That's a lot of details about these cranks. I don't think I missed much, but one thing that I didn't mention is definitely weight. What's the weight of these aluminum cranks? Cranks by themselves come up to 418 grams. If you add a 30mm round chainring, that's 480. If you add the needed hardware and the washers, it comes up to 488 grams. Now for aluminum crank and chainring, this is definitely impressive. These guys have done an amazing job carving out enough material from here to make these very competitive. Did I mention that these are aluminum cranks and they're lighter than the XTR produced by the big Shimano? Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to ride these cranks, but people talk about the perfect mix between stiffness and compliance. I don't know how this black finish it's gonna look like with a bit of wear, but they do have that raw color. That might be a better option. Pricing is definitely way up there, but if you were to buy XTR or XX1, that wouldn't be any different. Plus, I don't think you're gonna get too many bragging rights in 2023 from installing an XX1 drivetrain as opposed to using 5-dev cranks. So what do you guys think? Are you interested in something like this? Would you buy 5-dev cranks for a new build over the winter? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you have any questions. Hope you liked this, and if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, hope you see you folks on the trails. Cheers, guys. Cheers.